Hello and welcome to the Altify Podcast. I'm Jeremy, and I am absolutely buzzing today because we are tackling a topic that is it's dominating every single conversation in the sales world right now.
And I'm Sarah. It's great to be here. I can tell you're already vibrating with that new tech excitement.
I really am. I mean, look, you can't scroll through LinkedIn, you can't open a newsletter without just this tidal wave of AI hype. Everyone is rushing to buy the tools. Sales leaders are, they're desperate for that magic button. The one that writes the perfect email, predicts the future, closes the deal while you sleep. It feels like a gold rush.
It does. It feels like a frenzy. We're all obsessed with the shiny new toys, but I kind of hate to be the one to burst the bubble right at the start.
Go for it. That's why we're here.
We need a serious reality check. The reality is the technology is the easy part.
The easy part.
Yeah. You can sign a contract for a new AI platform in, an afternoon? Yeah. You can deploy licenses to 1,000 reps by Monday morning, but the people part, getting human beings to actually change how they work, how they think, how they sell, that is incredibly hard.
And that is exactly where we're going today. We're doing a deep dive into the one thing that gets ignored in the hype cycle, change management.
Right.
Specifically, how a lack of it is maybe the biggest hurdle to successful account planning in this new AI era.
It's the unsexy part of the revolution, but it is the absolute most critical.
So, okay, let's set the stakes here. Because from what I'm seeing, AI is already, it's in the wild.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about what the company officially buys anymore. You've got sellers finding their own tools, using unauthorized apps, pasting confidential client data into who knows where.
Shadow IT, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is a direct symptom of poor change management. When leadership doesn't provide a structured path, people, they pave their own.
And that path is messy.
It's more than messy. A world without that structure looks pretty bleak. It's expensive and it's dangerous.
How so? Well, you have escalating costs, right? Everyone's swiping credit cards for different subscriptions. You have massive security risks. I mean, just imagine your proprietary pricing strategy ending up in some public language model.
Wow.
And maybe the most painful part for a sales leader, you risk losing your most skilled employees.
Because the organization didn't keep up.
Exactly. It didn't evolve with the tech. Top performers want to work in systems that make them faster, not systems that are chaotic.
So you don't just lose money, you lose your edge.
Your people.
That's it. Okay, so let's unpack this. We're going to look at why this fails in account planning, the risks to the team, including this lone wolf thing I want to dig into, and then a blueprint on how to actually land this change.
Governance, training, culture, the works.
Sounds like a plan. So let's start with the resistance. Why is this transition so uniquely difficult for sales leaders? I mean, sales is about speed, adaptation, isn't it? You'd think we'd be the first to jump on something that makes us faster.
You'd think so. But sales is also deeply, deeply rooted in habit. Right.
Think about the psychology of a salesperson. From, the junior SDR making 50 calls a day to the seasoned director managing a global account. They all rely on a personal algorithm.
A personal algorithm. I like that.
Yeah. They have a way of doing things that has worked for them. It's the path that paid their mortgage for the last 5 years.
The old, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Precisely. But in sales, it's more intense. It's a risk-reward calculation. A salesperson fears that if they stray from that path, the one that got them their commission check last quarter, they might lose the deal.
And if they lose the deal, they lose earnings.
Exactly. So asking them to change their workflow for some new AI tool, it feels like a direct threat to their livelihood.
That makes so much sense. It's not just about being stubborn, it's financial survival. But this brings up an archetype we see all the time, the lone wolf.
Yes.
You know the type. Hits their number, never logs a thing in the CRM, just wants to be left alone. The lone wolf is a classic figure in sales lore, right? And leaders have tolerated them for decades because, they bring in the revenue.
Yeah, the ends justify the means.
But here's the hard truth. In the AI era, the lone wolf is becoming an endangered species.
Really? Why? If they're hitting their number, who cares?
Because selling today is a team sport. The complexity of modern B2B buying, where you have, 10, 12 decision makers, it requires a cohesive approach, supported by data.
And the lone wolf is a data black hole.
A total blind spot. If you have one person hoarding information, refusing to use the account planning tools, operating on gut instinct alone, the whole system breaks down.
Because the AI needs data to work.
AI thrives on data. If the lone wolf isn't feeding the system can't help the team. It can't offer insights to marketing or to product.
So lone wolf isn't just hurting themselves anymore if they fail. They're actually hurting the team's ability to learn.
They break the collective intelligence of the organization, which leads us, really, to the consequences.
Okay, let's drill down there. What happens when we just ignore this? I'm a sales leader. I toss a bunch of AI licenses at my team. No plan. What actually happens?
You see failure on 3 distinct levels. First, there's the individual level.
Okay.
You get demotivation and what we call the skills gap. Reps get stressed. They burn out trying to grapple with all these different technologies without any guidance.
So they just go back to what they know.
Yeah.
This new thing sucks. I'm going back to my spreadsheet.
Exactly. Then you have the team level failure. Uneven adoption. So imagine if only half your team is using the new account planning software. You get huge performance gaps. Communication breaks down because half the team is speaking one language, data, and insights, and the other half is just guessing. It kills the culture.
And I imagine it's a nightmare for a manager trying to forecast with half their data missing.
It makes accurate forecasting impossible. But the third level is the worst, the organizational level.
Bottom line.
Yes, missed revenue targets. But even more dangerous, I think, is customer dissatisfaction.
How does bad internal change management end up hurting the customer?
Because if AI is used incorrectly, if a bot sends a weird message, or if an account plan is based on bad data, it damages your reputation. Your customers will feel the chaos. They'll get generic emails that don't make sense, or they'll deal with a rep who's clearly reading a script from a bot that doesn't understand their business at all.
And that connects right back to the shadow IT problem. It's not just internal mess, it's external brand damage.
Precisely. You get data leaks, strange messaging, and just a complete erosion of trust.
Okay, that is sufficiently scary. So we've established the spray and pray method of AI adoption is a disaster. Let's pivot. What's the blueprint for success? How do we fix this?
The first step is, it's a bit counterintuitive for a lot of ambitious leaders. You have to start slowly. Do not try to boil the ocean.
But the hype train says we need to be AI first across the board by yesterday.
And that's why the hype train usually derails. Leaders get tempted to bite off more than they can chew. Instead, just pick one area of the business.
Like what?
Maybe it's just the initial account research phase or the RFP process. Nail that one thing, prove it works, and then expand.
Smart. Get a quick win. Okay, what's step 2?
This one sounds bureaucratic, but stick with me. You need an oversight committee.
Uh-oh. That sounds like red tape. The Committee for AI Goodness.
You can call it whatever you want. Call it the Innovation Council, if that helps. But you need a formalized governing body. It's not just about rules, it's about protection. This group looks at data security, unifies the messaging, and crucially controls costs.
Right, because if every department is buying its own pet tool, those subscriptions pile up fast.
Incredibly fast. And going back to your shadow AI point, if you don't govern it, you have no idea where your data is going. This committee sets the guardrails.
Okay, so it's less about policing and more about keeping the car on the road.
That's a great way to put it. And once you have the guardrails, step 3 is vision and metrics. You have to measure the right things.
Well, it's the wrong thing to measure.
It's just usage. 80% of the team logged in today. That doesn't tell you anything about value. It's a vanity metric.
So what's a better one?
Compare revenue growth in accounts managed with AI versus those managed without it.
Oh, I like that. A/B testing your own sales floor.
Exactly. When you can go to senior leadership and say, the accounts where we used this new methodology grew revenue by 20% more than the others, you don't have to beg for budget anymore.
The data tells the story.
It moves the conversation from adoption to pure ROI. But, and this is a big but, even with the best data, you still have to deal with the human.
The human element.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go there. We talked about resistance, but how do we actually engage the sellers, get them to care?
You have to create a safe space.
Now, that's a buzzword we hear a lot. What does it mean in a cutthroat sales environment?
It means leaders need to ask hard questions and be ready for honest answers. Do your sellers feel safe sharing the real details of their deals? Or are they hiding information because they think the AI or management is going to judge them?
Or replace them. That's the real fear, isn't it?
Yeah.
Am I training the robot that's going to take my desk?
Exactly. You have to address the anxiety factor head on. There is a very real fear that AI will take jobs. Leaders must openly discuss this. If you ignore the elephant in the room, your sellers will operate from a place of fear.
You have to be transparent. This tool is here to remove the grunt work, not to remove the salesperson.
Yes. And that leads to how you train them. The old one-and-done seminar is dead.
Oh, I hate those. Sit in a room for 4 hours, eat a stale bagel, stare at a PowerPoint, forget everything by Tuesday.
And you resent the time you lost selling. It just doesn't work with AI because the landscape changes too fast. We need immersion.
Immersion. I like that word. It implies you're living in it.
You are. And here's a tactical tip that I think is critical. Realign your rewards and incentives around the new behaviors.
Incentivize the process, not just the outcome.
At least in the beginning, yes. If you want them to use the AI for account planning, but you only pay them on the final number, the lone wolf will never change.
Right. The comp plan always wins.
Always. You have to signal that how we sell matters as much as what we sell. And above all, keep it simple. If the tool is too complex, adoption fails. Sellers need to trust it.
Simplicity and trust. Sounds basic, but it's so hard to execute.
It is. But it's the only way.
I want to zoom out a bit now. We've covered the how, but let's talk about the what. This synthesis of man and machine in account planning. Because it's a philosophical shift, isn't it?
It absolutely is. It's a redefinition of the role.
So in an age of intelligent machines, where does the human seller actually fit? If the AI can predict the deal, draft the email, schedule the meeting, what am I even doing?
That is the big question. And I think you should think of AI as the map and the vessel.
The map and the vessel.
It gives you the data points, it builds the predictive models, it handles the what and the when. It can tell you when a customer is likely to buy and what products fit their profile.
So it handles the logistics, the patterns, it does the math.
Right. But here is the human edge. Here is what AI cannot do. It cannot understand the unspoken anxiety of a stakeholder sitting across the table from you. It can't grasp a long-term strategic vision that hasn't been written down yet. It can't navigate complex office politics. And most importantly, it cannot build empathy and trust.
The AI can analyze the email text, but it can't read the room.
Exactly. The AI might tell you, this account is at risk based on usage data, but it takes a human to pick up the phone, hear that slight hesitation in the client's voice, and say, I get it, let's fix this together.
So the aha moment here is that the account plan isn't just a data dump anymore.
No. The account plan becomes a living testament to a shared journey. It's informed by AI, supercharged by it, really, but it's authored by human understanding.
Informed by AI, authored by humans. That should be in a t-shirt.
I'll talk to marketing. But seriously, the new role of the seller isn't to retreat from human connection. The goal is to use the time saved by AI to deepen that connection.
So you move from transactional selling to being a true strategic advisor.
That's it. That is the holy grail.
It's interesting. We started this conversation talking about technology and algorithms and magic buttons, but we're ending it talking about relationships.
Because the future isn't about the machine alone. It's about the integration.
So let's wrap this with some final takeaways. If you're a sales leader listening, what's the one thing you want them to remember?
The mission. Strategic B2B selling, the kind Altify stands for, is about putting the customer at the center. It's about creating mutual value. AI offers efficiency, but relationships offer value. The future belongs to the seamless integration of both.
And we should probably mention, since this is the Altify podcast, this isn't just theory for us.
Right. It's worth noting that Altify isn't just software. We're a sales transformation partner. We help organizations build these methodology-backed programs. We help you build that oversight committee, design that immersion training. It's the whole ecosystem.
Because at the end of the day, you can buy the best car in the world, but if you don't know how to drive it, or if your team is afraid to get in the driver's seat, you're just sitting in a very expensive garage.
That is a perfect way to put it.
I want to leave everyone with a thought to mull over. We've talked about AI as a tool, a map, a vessel, but think about this. Intelligence may be artificial, but the success it fosters remains profoundly human.
Truly.
So the question to ask yourself is, are you building a team of robots, blindly following a script? Or are you building a team of superpowered humans who use the machine to be more empathetic, more strategic, and more effective than ever before?
I know which team I'd want to be on.
Me too. Thanks for walking us through this today.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for listening. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.